Nation. MIFFLIN TV, aka me TV, aka Negro Dominus is in the building. I told y'all it was gonna happen. Jason Babin, no, why did you go, Jason Babin? I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Look. People gonna hate what I do anyway on here. All right, so I might as well do me anyway. Look, I put it like this. Jason Babin, I wasn't even gonna do a video this week, all right, because I felt that the Eagles game wasn't worth talking about. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't worth talking about until this news came out, and you guys on Twitter was like, "Yo, you gotta do a video this week," and I was like, "Yeah, you right." damn. Yeah, you right, but you. So let's get something straight here, all right? I had said to, was it you guys, at the end of the season, Jason Babin was going to be gone. Did I not say that? And I was trying to give him and the Eagles the benefit of the doubt, thinking if they got rid of him at the end of the season, they could get something for him. You get what I'm saying? But instead, they cut him in the middle of the season. And I tried to warn people. I tried to. What did I tell you, Eagles fans? When you see a guy who's taking majority snaps and he's getting these reps, and all of a sudden, he's on the bench. All of a sudden, his play is diminishing. All of a sudden, he's getting less reps. You know what that means? That means he's on his way out. This is what happens. See, here's the thing. Because all you Babin fans, I didn't understand this, all right? On Twitter, Eagles fans were like, yeah, he's gone. And all of a sudden, there was just an influctuation of Eagles fans like, that was a bad idea. Eagles, you shouldn't have got rid of Babin. Are you serious? Just on Monday, you was calling him a bum. What's going on? Come on, man. Oh, you Babin fans cry. You Babinettes. Yeah, your contest is wearing the jerseys on video. I'm telling you guys, I'm feeling great today. Oh, Jason Babin. Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something, all right? I said this was going to happen. It's funny to see it happen, but this is the difference between listening to fans and somebody who actually knows football. There's a difference, all right? That's what it comes down to. Jason Babin, obviously, and I want to talk about this a little bit because for those who don't know, I'm getting a little serious, all right? When Jason Babin was told that he was being cut, he laughed in Andy Reid's face. Yeah, that goes to show you what type of attitude this dude has. I told you before, his attitude was a cancer on his team, and not just team, but on his city with the fans. Nobody liked him. It was a very small majority of people who liked him, okay? That's what it comes down to. And this is, and I have to say, I'll give Babin credit for this because watching the interviews and hearing just how much of a douchebag he is, to hear him, say he had this one line that was just hilarious, all right, when he was on ESPN. He said, yeah, we were getting to the quarterback, but by the time we got to the quarterback, he didn't have the ball. Oh, my God. Look, it's this simple, all right? We all know that everyone's like, oh, well, now that Babin, he was on waivers. All these teams tried to pick him up. And some people had reported it was only going to be 3 or 4, but about 8 teams did it. And you have to understand, he's not that hot of a commodity, especially when you see how many teams in the NFL? Exactly. Only 8 stepped up to claim waivers. So the team that is doing the poorest record gets first dibs. That's what it comes down to. So he went to the Jacksonville Jaguars, okay? That's how it happens. As we all know, there's always negotiations in the background of, hey, can we get him or whatever? You won't get him until next year. If he's a free agent, that's different. All right? You get what I'm saying? But this is why I say, for people who say, well, there was 8 teams after him, how about this? Why weren't there any teams willing to trade for him in a package? That's what I'm trying to say. His level, I'll put it like this, his demand isn't that great. That's what I'm trying to get at here. All right? But you have to understand, when you're seeing the Eagles now that this has all happened and the fans are in such disarray, you know what I feel like? You ever see that that movie where the dude's like, maniacal laugh. That's what I feel like right now. That's what Babin fans since Tuesday. It's been great. You know what? I cannot tell you how happy I am because this is the start of things to come. All right, we are seeing Eagles players. That sends a message. That's what that is. All right, and we're seeing Eagles players say how they're in such disarray of what's going on. They didn't expect it to happen. Now they can see it's a business, and these are the rookies talking. All right, and it's like, okay, rookie, you didn't understand that. You understand? But I put it like this, Eagles fans. Brian Dawkins brings up a hell of a point I want to talk about, all right? Because he talks about this. Brian Dawkins said the other day, he said, the last time that we saw a vet get cut in midseason for the Eagles was who? Terrell Owens, right? T.O. Brian Dawkins is going on to say that, there had to be other issues at hand. It's not just, oh, we're just going to give the young guys the rub. No, it has nothing to do with that. There has to be other issues at hand, behavioral issues, if this happens. It's that simple. And people tend to forget that. All right? Jason Babin, he didn't do great this year, and we all knew, we talked about since last season. He got those sacks last season because of Trent Cole. All right? And then we saw Trent Cole have an off season this season, so then Babin wasn't effective. And people like to bring, well, he had 5 sacks, he was leading the team. You think those 5 sacks really meant something when you're getting blown out? This is what I mean. You can't sit and be for yourself. All right? And some of the Eagles players had said earlier today, I was watching, unless they were interviews from earlier this week, I was watching not too long ago, where they were saying how, you know, this is a clear case of if you're not going to play and help the team, you will be gone. You're only here to collect a paycheck. That sends a message. Now, I'll put it like this. We're going to talk about injuries real quick because wide receiver 10, look, I don't feel no sympathy for this dude. First off, he fell. Oh, poor little baby, he hurt his ribs. First they said it was his collarbone. Now it's his ribs. Now he's all of a sudden checked out. I don't think he's really that hurt, to be quite honest. We've seen MIFFLIN and we've seen Avant take big shot after big shot this year, did we not? And they got up with no problem. This is what I meant before. What I say, get in the gym. If you're really hurt, wide receiver 10, get in the gym and work on that. Work on that durability, but you don't want to do that. You still want to be a superstar. And I want to talk about this a little bit more because, you know, since the Eagles are now 3-8, okay, we're seeing Eagles players still trying to be entertainers instead of football players. See, and that's what I'm talking about. You're a 3-8 football team, and yet you're trying to do a piece to entertain the media. Look, if you want to be an entertainer, then go into entertainment, all right? Right now, a 3-8 football team, you should be a pissed-off football player. But it seems like nobody wants to do that. This is what I mean, that mentality, that killer instinct, that hunger. It's not there. It's not. Some of these players really have to go, all right? Next season, Coleman should be gone, all right? Because he's obviously not doing his job so well. Nnamdi, he needs to go, all right? There's other players that need to go, but other players can stay as well. And what I mean by this is Kendricks, he has some behavioral problems, but he can still play. He's a little rough around the edges. He can be coached. Trent Cole, he's having an off season, but he can still go. You know what I mean? There's players who actually do try. And that's interesting. So I'm not trying to hear all these players are being cut or whatever because they want to give the young guys a rub. Just saying that you're giving the young guys a chance means that you've already waved the white flag. That's what you've done. All right. And I understand 3-8. I told you guys before they weren't going to do anything, you know, for the rest of the season anyway. That's what I thought. So it goes to show you this is what they're doing now. They're trying to assess what's going on. And I'm not going to show any clips from CSN this week because all they did was argue again about if Nick Foles should start behind that line. And now they're starting to change their, you know, their opinion all of a sudden. Maybe it's unfair. Maybe it's unfair. I just said that how many weeks ago? But they're still arguing about that on CSN. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Look, I put it like this. The Eagles right now are as bad as Tony Bruno trying to sell collectibles from GameStop. Yo, let me get this straight. You went to GameStop and bought a bunch of old used Madden games, wrote your autograph for it, and now it's a sports collectible? Come on, son, ain't no one falling for that. What's wrong with you, all right? You know what? There may be somebody stupid enough to buy it because it got about 25,000 followers, so if someone's stupid enough to buy it, I mean, that's bad. I mean, that's Eagles bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not Jets bad, all right? But you know what? How bad it is? It's about as bad as Jeopardy contestants who can't answer sports questions.
Basketball, Steve Nash. Football's Larry Little. Marcia.
What is point guard?
No. Kate.
What is center?
No. Marion.
What is guard?
Guard, not point guard. You don't have a point guard in football. Marion, back to you.
2 people, 400.
Hockey's Bobby Hull. Basketball's Dennis Rodman. Marcia.
What is center?
No. Marion.
What is defender?
No. What is forward? Back to Marion.
2 people, 600.
I'll stick with it. Hockey's Patrick Roy. Soccer's Hope Solo. Kate.
What is goalie?
Goalie, yes. Baseball's OZZIE Guillen. Dunder Mifflin boss Andy Bernard on The Office. Marcia?
What is shortstop?
No. What is manager? manager. But
I mean, seriously, why even put the questions out there? You gotta be kidding me. Look, I want to move on. I gotta talk about other football teams. I just want to give some shout outs to some football teams. First, the Cleveland Browns. You beat Pittsburgh, all right? There was like, what, 8 turnovers, which is amazing. It was the last turnover at the end. Understand, though, you didn't play against Roethlisberger, but some Pittsburgh Steelers fans are not understanding what I meant a couple weeks ago about what I said about Roethlisberger, how he's nothing without the run game. You have to understand, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. No, he's proven that he can play in this league. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that every quarterback, unless you have a running game, because that run game takes the pressure off of the quarterback. That's what you're not understanding. And obviously, your run game keeps fumbling all the time, which before, I believe, last season, other players called out your running backs on the fumbles, but it seems like it hasn't worked any, all right? Also, San Francisco 49ers, we'll talk about you guys real quick. You're still winning games. Your backup quarterback, Cap, yeah, Jaws is talking about, Ron Jaworski's talking about this guy can take you guys to the Super Bowl. I mean, do you really think that your backup is good enough to take you to the Super Bowl? I mean, I can't judge him. I have not really seen him play that much. So it's up to, I mean, I would like to know from you guys what you think, okay? Also, I gotta talk about this real quick. Raiders fans, what's going on? You know, the days of Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen are really over, and Tim Brown really over. It's sad, I know. You guys deserve so much more. Denver fans, y'all got Peyton. I mean, y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all rolling right now. Y'all cruising. I want to give a shout out, though, to Colts fans. Colts fans, Andrew Luck is going to get you to a playoff, but I'm telling you now, you're not going to win that playoff. You're not. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying you're a bad team. You're a young team. You have something to look forward to in the future. Look, if this guy can get you even to the second round, okay? If he can get you to the second round, that's pretty much where the average was for Colts anyway when you had Peyton Manning. I'm just saying, all right? That was the average of where you would get to. So that's all. Chargers, fire North Turner, please. Fire him. What are you waiting for? All right, ever since, there was that little squabble with the front office and Marty Schottenheimer, who put that team together at one point. You brought in North Turner. He's pretty much gutted the team. You got Philip Rivers out there throwing the ball to a bunch of nobodies. What the hell? Seriously, it makes no sense. He's got to make stars out there. It's almost how Peyton did with the Colts at one point. He had to make stars out there. I'm just saying, all right? I feel real bad for Philip Rivers, and don't get me wrong, San Diego, I've been to San Diego many times. It is a great place, a great party place too. Just saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gaslamp District? Yeah. All right. Anyways, I want to move on. All right. I know I didn't answer. I know I didn't shout out every team. I can't shout out every team, okay? I do want to move on, though. I want to talk to you footballers real quick. That's right. On Sunday, I got a chance to see Swansea play the first half. I'm not really going to talk about much because I was working at the time, so I did not get a chance to see the entire game for me to assess what was going on. Just letting you know. But it does seem that soccer is back, so I am going to try and try to see these games as much as possible, all right, so I can talk about them. So just letting you guys know that. Also, I want to move on to baseball. Okay, I got to talk about this. I have to. Before I talk about basketball, I have to talk about this, all right? Carlos Ruiz. Chooch was suspended for 25 games, all right, for amphetamines. Now, I want to talk about this for a minute because for those who don't know, I know we've seen the news. Everyone's calling him a roider and things like that nature. Understand, the amphetamines that he took is for ADHD, okay? Now, for those Philly fans that did not know, Shane Victorino was on the same amphetamines when he played here in Philadelphia. But he was prescribed by a doctor. The MLB cleared it, and it was okay for him to use, okay? The MLB cleared it because he needed it. There was a difference. I do not know the entire story, if Chooch needed it or not. I don't know if he went to a doctor. We don't know everything yet, all right? However, he has issued an apology, and these apologies that come out, I never believe, okay? I never. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're not apologizing or telling people what you're taking during the season, right? All right, it's always when you get caught. I'm sorry I got caught. That's what he's doing. I'm sorry I got caught. I like Chooch, all right? He's been great for this team. But if this is true, and he really was trying to take an advantage, well then, I'm going to call him exactly what he is. Just like I call every other team. If I call your team, whoever team you like, I say, oh, you got a guy who's been roiding, I'm going to say the same thing about my team, to be fair. It's interest of fairness, all right? That's what it comes down to. He's wrong. We saw this. This is two guys in one season. Well, it's off season now. But you have Freddie Galvis, and now you got Chooch. That tells you something. Clean it up. And I know a lot of you people want Josh Hamilton here. I understand. I understand why you want him here. But also understand, did you not learn from last season? The Phillies cannot handle big contracts unless there's a trade in the making. It's the only way it's going to get done. Just letting you guys know, we cannot take on that contract. If not, they're going to blow up the team again. And I'm telling you, I think this offseason, we're going to see some moves. As far as I'm concerned, they should stick with the core guys they have. I'm telling you, you can work around batters, but you need solid pitching. And I'm saying you have to keep that core and add somebody. And I want to talk about this because people are talking about getting Wilton Lopez. Why is it that the Phillies always do deals with the Astros? I don't understand this. Look at the players that have come down the line in the previous 3, maybe 4 years. All Astros players. If the Astros have all these great players, why are they giving them to us? All right? I understand that front office, apparently they have some type of deal going on. Ruben Amaro, I believe the one guy from the Astros actually came over to the Phillies. But this is just, I don't understand why we're always doing deals with the Astros first and no one else. I don't understand what's going on. It seems like everything that's always finalized is with the Astros. I don't get this. All right? And you already know how I feel about the Houston Astros, all right? Anybody from Houston, if you haven't seen Jim Crane's comments about African-American players, that's my problem with the Houston Astros, all right? It's ridiculous that anybody is allowed to even, this was what, a couple days after it was, what was it, when he was Hank Aaron, when they were celebrating Hank Aaron, all right? I just can't believe that, all right? Phillies, they have to get it together. It's just offseason. No one's really caring about baseball right now anyway. I understand that a lot of Philly fans are talking about baseball because the Eagles are sucking, but it's not even time yet. It's not. I want to move on to the Sixers, all right? For those who don't know, Andrew Bynum is now out indefinitely. What did I tell you? I told you. Now, look, we talked about how he was hurt until January. I said he'll be out till February, because of his bowling problem. And it seems like people still don't understand this whole bowling thing because Andrew Bynum, I showed you guys last time, he said, oh, well, it's the first 3 steps. It's not about the first 3 steps. It's about your form, how much pressure you're putting on that knee when you're bending down the bowl. And he's a pretty tall guy, so definitely it's going to hurt him. All right, he obviously didn't think about this, and he says the team doctors, they didn't understand either. You need to get some new team doctors. Something wrong with y'all. But now he's out indefinitely. If you think that the Philadelphia 76ers, I've said this before, all right, the 76ers are going to give him an extension with max contract, this is crazy. And Tony DeLeo is trying to sit here and pretty much play damage control and say, we can't wait to get a chance at him pretty much next season. This guy is done. He's done. There is no reason. I feel like this Evan Turner, finally you have stepped up. Finally, all right? But it's still only a couple games. I have to see this more consistently. I just have to. The Philadelphia 76ers are still a bad shooting team without an inside presence. Don't tell me Kwame Brown is going to be the guy in the middle all the time. You got to be kidding me. All right? Don't tell me that. And it was funny to see on the day that Jason Babin got cut, people were cheering Kwame Brown. It was like we're in the Twilight Zone here. I don't get it. All right? The Sixers can still run with anybody. But if you think they have a chance, and I'm not talking about regular season, if you think in the playoffs they have a chance to beat Boston, Miami, or Chicago, something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Or even the Knicks at this point. Melo is putting in work. All right, Melo is putting up. He's the second. He's the league's second scorer. All right, leading scorer, not the leading scorer, but second to leading scorer, in the league. Don't tell me he's not putting in work. All you Knicks fans who sat here and had stuff to say about that, about last year how Melo wasn't doing it, or it's because of Lynn, I'm not trying to hear that, all right? And now you got Jay-Z coming out and talking about it's takeover. This is new because the Nets beat the Knicks 1 game. Ooh. So now Jay-Z thinks that the Nets are going to take over the entire town of New York. They're all going to become Nets fans. There's something wrong with Jay-Z. Jay-Z got a lot of nerve to come out and say something. I'm going to talk about my people from New York real quick because I put it like this, all right? You had a lot of nerve to come out and talk about the Knicks and the Nets and how they're going to battle. You got all this money. Where were you when the hurricane hit? When Far Rock didn't have no electricity, when people was up there in Brooklyn, they was looting and carrying on, people was getting shot and they had to arm they shotguns. Where were you then, Jay-Z? Where were you to help? Don't come out here all of a sudden and start talking about I'm in New York and this is what we do. No, it's not what you do. That's what rich people do. You're not part of New York no more as far as I'm concerned. And I'm telling you, New Yorkers, I'm sure you co-sign me on that too. Anyways, I'm done for the day. I wasn't even going to do this video, but I did have a great time doing it. I'm just saying. Jason Babin. Yeah, have fun in Jacksonville, buddy. I'm telling you now, Jason Babin, if you even try to talk, smack to fans in Jacksonville, in certain parts of Jacksonville, I'm telling you now, up there in Jayville, they will shoot you. I'm just saying. Anyways, I talked to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out. And also, bring back the NHL, please, Batman. You know you're wrong. I hope you get fired next season for not bringing them back this season.